Right now at 5, a group that's been marching for 160 miles in protest of Line 3 continues their call to action just a day before oil is set to start flowing through the pipeline. Plus, a government shutdown is avoided for a few more months as budget crises loom on Capitol Hill. And a Duluth food shelf needs your help as we head toward the holiday season to provide Thanksgiving meals to the city's most vulnerable.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Good evening, I'm Jenna Wells. Kristen is off this week. Thank you for joining us. After years of planning and regulatory review, tomorrow will be a huge day for Enbridge Energy. The company's reconstructed Line 3 pipeline is finished and ready to start transporting oil from Canada to Superior tomorrow. But even with just hours left until that happens, some opposed to the project are still fighting it. CBS 3's Abigail Smith caught up with that group as they ended a days-long march in Superior today.
Dozens of people showed up in the final leg of an 160-mile journey in opposition to Line 3 that is set to flow tomorrow in a final attempt to stop the pipeline.
Hey, what is life? What is life?
Their journey started on September 12th in Bacchus, Minnesota. Environmental advocates, including some natives from all over the Midwest, participated in a prayerful walk. They're worried the pipeline could pose a threat to the surrounding environment. But Enbridge has countered that, saying they've passed the state's tests and the project has the green light. With just one day until the pipeline starts transporting oil, this group is urging President Joe Biden to cancel Enbridge's permits the day before oil is set to flow through the pipeline.
Give our Anishinaabe, our indigenous people, a chance to have clean water on our reservations and the reservations in Arizona and New Mexico and the place where that pipeline is going where they can't even have water. They have to haul water in. Things are getting very, very dangerous for our people.
The walk ended at Wisconsin Point in Superior, the city where Line 3 ends. Their journey comes after another group walked more than 250 miles from the Mississippi headwaters to the Minnesota state capitol in August.
Those walking say they hope President Biden listens and understands why they feel the need to protect the environment in any way they can.
Enbridge leaders also shared a statement ahead of Line 3 starting to operate. They said the project has been about modernizing their system and improving safety and reliability for the benefit of communities, the environment, and their customers. Company spokespeople also added that they're proud of the relationships and trust that they've built with communities along the route, and their goal is to uphold that trust. Today, both chambers of Congress approved a temporary government funding measure to avoid a shutdown. President Biden is expected to sign it this evening, but another budget crisis looms next month, with the Treasury Secretary once again calling on Congress to raise the federal debt limit. Deborah Alfarone reports from the White House.
The bill is passed.
Congress has passed a continuing resolution to keep the government funded through December 3rd, averting a shutdown just hours before the midnight deadline.
This vote says we are keeping the government open. It is a glimmer of hope.
The short-term continuing resolution also provides disaster relief for recent wildfires and hurricanes and funding for the resettlement of Afghan refugees. Congress is also less than 3 weeks away from another looming crisis over the debt ceiling. The Biden administration now pushing lawmakers to act by October 18th, or the U.S. could face default. Thursday, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen again sounded the alarm on Capitol Hill before a House panel.
The full faith and credit of the United States would be impaired, and our country would likely face a financial crisis.
Twice this week, Senate Republicans have blocked procedural actions brought by the Democrats to suspend the debt ceiling.
Their unified Democratic government is fully capable of fast-tracking a debt limit increase on their own.
The House has approved a clean debt limit suspension through the end of 2022. Senate Democrats say they may try to bring that measure up for consideration sometime next week. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
The U.S. Treasury says Congress has raised or suspended the federal debt limit 78 times since 1960. Republicans are calling on Democrats to do it again using their massive budget reconciliation bill. But so far, Democrats have refused to do so. Well, now Dave joins us with a quick look at the weather out there. Dave, a perfect day today.
Yeah, even though we have a low pressure system right on our doorstep that wants to bring us some decent rains tomorrow, right now, things are picture perfect, like you mentioned. Well, speaking of pictures, let's take this live look out towards the west, the Jacobson area. And, you know, we've been showing off some of the fall colors the past couple of days, and some have still been pretty green. Others have been at peak. Jacobson here sure looks like it's past peak. A lot of those trees are bare, and only a couple are still holding on to a couple of leaves. So it all depends on where you go, what sort of viewing you have for the fall colors. Tomorrow, perhaps not a great day for fall color viewing because of that low pressure system that's coming our way out of the Dakotas. Clouds will increase tonight, and we get a 60% chance for showers and thunderstorms on Friday and a 30% chance for some showers on the backside of the low on Saturday, though that high to the west will make things sunny by Sunday once again. So here's our forecast for the short term. Thicker clouds should make warmer temperatures, low temps in the mid-50s for a lot of places. Then it should be pretty cloudy on Friday with that 60% chance for showers and thunderstorms. High temps around 70 will be about 10 degrees cooler than they were for some towns today. Yeah, we did crack 80 once again today, but I do think this is the last time. We'll talk about our temperature timeline in more detail, of course, in just a few more minutes.
All right, thank you, Dave. A Duluth food shelf already needs donations for the big holiday season in a big way. The pandemic has made it difficult for Chum leaders to find basic food items ahead of their annual Thanksgiving dinner for those in need. That's because they say prices have more than doubled. What used to cost $8,000 in previous years now costs almost $18,000. Chum Scott Van Dale says every dollar donated will go a long way.
And I know $60 seems like a lot of money to spend on one box of food for 300 people, but for those 300 people that get this box, it's incredibly important. Everybody deserves to have a great Thanksgiving dinner.
Last Thanksgiving, Chum helped feed about 460 kids and 63 seniors. Chum is also expanding their delivery coverage area. The nonprofit's food shelf van will now travel to different parts of the city every Tuesday between 11 a.m. and noon. They'll hand out 20 boxes of non-perishable foods to people in need on a first-come, first-served basis. There are 4 pickup spots for each Tuesday of the month. A list of the locations can be found on our website. A partnership between the Duluth Fire Department and a local veterinary hospital is saving lives. Duluth firefighters have been carrying pet oxygen kits on their rigs since 2014. Recently, the Duluth Veterinary Hospital donated new masks along with other supplies like leashes and muzzles. In a recent house fire, crews used one of the new masks to save the life of a dog close to dying. They say having the right equipment makes a big difference when it matters most.
It's exciting, but it's unfortunate that we have to have this stuff, but it's exciting to see that it being used and that it can make such a big outcome on someone else's life.
The department says they've responded to an increase in calls this year that have involved pets needing treatment, so this gear is more important than ever. Still to come on Live at 5, a fall fishing tournament in Hayward going 43 years strong. We'll tell you about the big prizes and much more as we take you around the Northland right after this break.
CBS3 News is brought to you by Ralph Eye Care Specialists.
At Ralph Eye Care Specialists, we help your family see well. We check your child's need for glasses, and we screen for problems which are best treated early in life. We test your parents for diseases like macular degeneration and glaucoma. These often have no early symptoms, so regular eye exams are important. And we care for you, providing routine and emergency care for your lifetime. Call now to schedule an appointment at Ralph Eye Care Specialists.
Ghosts are a real thing, and my wife talks to them now. Wait, are they in here?
Yes, they are.
Quick favor, could you look up all the Met scores for me for the last 37 years?
And I would like to see how all my stocks performed after I died. My big 3 were Circuit City, Enron, and Blockbuster.
Guys! I get that it's cool that you have access to a living now, but you cannot just bombard me with questions all day.
You okay, ma'am?
Yeah, just on Bluetooth.
I got into journalism when I was in high school, actually, and that's where I really fell in love with the news and the storytelling aspect of it, being able to bring those things together and keep people informed. It's so important for us to be in a community like Duluth, to be able to hear your stories and then bring them to everybody else in the community.
Watch Caitlin and Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
The Royal Enfield Bullet was designed in 1955 and not updated until 2008. It takes an experienced hand to keep one running. I've ridden in the rain and the snow, but prefer not to. That's why motorcycles and meteorology go together so well. It also takes an experienced hand to make an accurate riding forecast. As our region's longest-serving meteorologist, I think I have the touch needed to get it right.
Watch Dave Anderson weeknights at 5, 6, and 10.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look over Duluth, where we're currently enjoying a beautiful evening before parts of the region see some potential rainfall tonight. Dave will be in with this week's full forecast in just a few minutes. But first, let's take a look around the region. The Oktoberfest, a celebration that dog lovers have been waiting for, and a 125th birthday celebration where the whole community can participate. All of that and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. We start off tonight in Hayward, Wisconsin for the 43rd annual Fall Fishing Tournament hosted by the Hayward Lakes chapter of Muskies Incorporated. The tournament will run this whole weekend with over $30,000 worth of prizes. The top 10 anglers of the weekend will receive the prizes, and any angler who catches and releases a fish over 34 inches will receive their own plaque. Registration for the tournament is still open, so head to the link that's on our website to try your hand at the competition. Next, we head to Grand Rapids, Minnesota for a special Oktoberfest celebration for dog lovers. Itasca Dog Lodge is hosting Dogtoberfest on Saturday on their 30-acre outdoor space. The event is an effort to raise awareness for the local dog shelter, Range Regional Animal Rescue, as National Adopt a Dog Month begins. Dogs will be absolutely pampered with a pet spa, a dog massage, and vendors for both the dogs and their owners. If you'd like more information on Dogtoberfest, head over to our website. And we wrap up tonight on Barker's Island in Superior to wish the SS Meteor a happy 125th birthday. The Superior staple is the last surviving ship of its unique style. The community is celebrating by offering free tours of the ship, as well as food, beverages, games, and more. Guests are encouraged to donate to Superior Public Museums, who will use the funds raised to do some repairs across the ship, allowing the steam engine to run during tours. That event will take place tomorrow evening. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email. It might get featured as we go around the Northland city by city. Still to come on Live at 5, the mayor of Bayfield shares his message to folks coming to town for Apple Fest. We'll tell you more in just a few minutes.
Last couple of days, we've run a temperature regime of 60s by the lake and 80s inland. Well, today we still had 80s inland, but we went up to the 70s by the lake. Is that a sign of things to increase temperature-wise over the weekend, or is this the last hurrah for the warmth? We'll talk about which way that'll roll and our chance for rain tomorrow, coming up after our break.
We're kicking off a new season in NYC. I'm putting the y'all in New York. You didn't even know it was there, but it is now.
Culligan. Our water makes my skin and hair feel like I'm 90.
How do you feel about high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water?
What?
How do you feel about smoother skin and luxurious hair?
I feel very good about that.
That's the power of water.
Epilepsy can affect anyone with a brain.
It does not discriminate.
If you have a brain,
You can get epilepsy.
But here's something that's just as important to know.
Anyone with a brain can affect epilepsy.
So let's use our brains to do just that.
Let's change the way people think about epilepsy.
To find cures.
Because if all of us can get epilepsy,
all of us
Can end epilepsy.
We just need to use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
let's use our brains to end epilepsy.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
When we talk about quality journalism, we're not talking about a once-in-a-while thing. Our team of experienced award-winning journalists has one goal: to tell the most compelling, honest, and accurate stories that impact you and your community. Because this is our home, too. Live, local, CBS3.
A walk in opposition to Line 3 as many call for change. More details tonight.
Temperatures were pretty toasty again today, but a cool down eventually is coming our way.
Tonight at 6 on CBS3.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, temperatures today got pretty warm inland again, despite my theories that, we'd only get up to about 79 inland today. Now, a lot of towns still cracked 80, so, you make a big grandiose statement. Nature smacks you down and says, I'll show you. What did we get? Well, I'll show you. 84 Big Fork, 84 Orr, 80 Grand Rapids, 82 Moose Lake, 82s from Solon Springs to Hayward and up towards Ironwood. And right by the lake, sure, there were still some places in the 60s like Park Point and Superior, but up over the hill in Duluth got back into the 70s. But this isn't a sign of really warm temperatures to last. They should step back tomorrow as clouds go up and our rain chance comes aboard. We'll talk more about the rain chance, of course, after our initial start by looking at the current conditions from Duluth International. 71 degrees right now, 66% for the relative humidity. Southeast wind is 7 miles per hour and the air pressure is still one more day on the high side at 30.13 inches of mercury, but that slow moving low to our west should overtake us after midnight tonight. Current temps, well, they're still pretty warm, 77 to 79 in the Upper Peninsula, 63 to 79 in northern Wisconsin, Superior the cool spot, Hayward the warm spot, Solon Springs tied for the upper level as well, 81 degrees Moose Lake and Orr. Slip to the upper 70s from International Falls to Big Fork, mid-70s towards Grand Rapids, and some 60s by the lake indeed. Tomorrow's high temps maybe a little more towards 70 than 80, but the normal is 60, so we're still 10 degrees warmer than normal. Here's our current Doppler map, and for Michigan, high pressure makes it high and dry. For Wisconsin, high pressure makes it clear and sunny. But in parts of Minnesota, the rain is starting to work into our area, and we're seeing a line of showers and storms pushing towards Brainerd. And then coming from the west, we've got a line taking shape in northwestern Minnesota. So after midnight tonight, our clouds should go up, and a 60% rain chance will begin, which should affect much of the area here, probably all the way through Friday and into Saturday as well. So the front half of this low gets us on Friday. The back half brings a 30% chance for follow-up rain on Saturday. And despite those best efforts, maybe a quarter inch, half inch is what we're going to get as far as rain totals go. And then once we get into Sunday, well, high pressure builds back in from the west, and we go back towards sunshine at least through midweek next week. So this rain chance, it's a fairly short-lived one. Today's data indicates it's shorter-lived than we thought in the past couple of days. All right, tonight, here's what we think is going to happen. Low temps will be in the 50s in Minnesota with increasing clouds. They'll increase into Wisconsin and Michigan after midnight as well. Lows there in the 50s. Tomorrow, daytime highs, low to mid-70s in Wisconsin and Michigan with a cloudy day and a 60% chance for showers and even thunderstorms. So the start of October in Minnesota, upper 60s up north,
lower 70s down south, and that 60% chance for showers and storms, which then becomes a 30% chance for showers on Saturday. We hold on to 70. Then Sunday, we fall back closer to normal, dropping into the 60s, and that next high brings us sunshine through Wednesday. Next rain chance comes Thursday.
All right, sounds good, Dave. It's been a gorgeous few days. Really, all of September was amazing.
You know, it really was. And we got our rain back up to normal.
We did, and that was, I think, the most surprising part of it all for me.
It was a little bit surprising,
too. You don't expect that in September, but I'm looking forward to more nice days ahead. It doesn't really seem like there are too many bad days. I mean, a little rain never hurt anybody.
October will start toasty.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Bayfield's Apple Fest is this weekend, and as shops in town prepare for the big weekend, the city says they're expecting a big turnout. Bayfield Mayor Gordon Ringberg wants to make sure visitors are mindful of local shop owners, particularly as COVID cases continue to rise. Ringberg says with the highly transmissible Delta variant, they want people to wear masks when they're indoors and stay 6 feet apart whenever possible. They'll also be holding some of their traditionally indoor events outside this year. Ringberg hopes visitors will be respectful when interacting with local businesses.
In the end, it's all about being considerate for each other, being kind to each other, making sure we all have a good time this weekend and no one gets sick.
Ringberg is optimistic that Bayfield County's high vaccination rate will help keep transmission low this weekend. Almost 65% of the county is fully vaccinated, giving them one of the highest rates in Wisconsin. Runners, set your alarms. Registration for Grandma's Marathon opens tomorrow night. Grandma's Full Marathon, which is expected to be back to full capacity this year, is offering 9,000 runners a spot for $120. The Gary Jorkland Half Marathon will welcome 8,000 runners for $110. And the William A. Irvin 5K will give 1,200 runners a spot for $40. Registration for all three races is first come, first serve. These ticket prices only last from tomorrow through October 15th. And after that, prices continue to rise until registration deadline on June 1st. You can also register to run the races virtually. There's a link on our website about how to register for any race. Grandma's Weekend is June 18th. Well, it's that time of the show where we get to talk about adoptable pets. Today's pet comes to us from Range Regional Animal Rescue. This is Bricks. He's a 1-year-old boxer Staffordshire mix. Our friends at Range Regional tell us he's very social and friendly, and he loves to play with everyone. He is a little ball of energy who can surely keep you busy with whatever activities you like. So if you'd like to set up an appointment to adopt Bricks, call the number right there on your screen. Still to come, a potential vote on President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure bill hangs in the balance as congressional disagreement continues. Stay with us.
Is being challenged by DFL.
The race is on. Learn how Berkey 2021
is it safe to be ice fishing on Lake Superior?
New funding is bringing more mental health resources.
Dave Anderson.
How a popular new recreational area is allowed.
Hear how one vaccination clinic in West Duluth is focusing
into the COVID-19 pandemic, and food insecurity is still
new year, new ownership.
To stay up to date with the news and weather that impacts you and your community, join us weekdays for CBS3 Live at 5.
Eric Paulson here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and discoverwisconsin.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the Cabin Podcast, available wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Sports are my passion and the love of my life. And when you watch a sportscast, the biggest compliment that I get is that you seem so excited about what you're talking about. And that's not an act for me. Who doesn't want to see someone, you know, deliver their news in a fun way? So if you love it, I love it. You're gonna see the authenticity that I think I bring.
Watch sports with Kelly Hinseth weeknights on Live Local CBS3.
We've got new information now explaining why.
Why should ordinary Americans care what's happening here in Ukraine?
Deep divisions remain.
Elizabeth, why did they kick you out?
They are expecting public unrest.
Why are they releasing these videos now?
Police are pushing us back.
We found one hell of a story of survival.
That's why you have to do your own research to get to the truth.
School visits are an important part of kind of being part of the community outside of the TV station here. When I was in 6th grade, that's when I learned meteorology was it for me. Being on the other side of that now, for me being able to kind of pursue that, it's important for me to then be able to get back into the community. If I can go into a classroom and get just one person who was interested, or just one person who, you know, leaves there knowing like, wow, I learned something new today. For me, I did my job, and that means a lot to me.
Watch meteorologist Caitlin Moffitt weekdays at 5 a.m.
Get ready, y'all. Start spreading the news. We're taking the show on the road and kicking off a new season in NYC. Big shows, big stars, and big surprises. We're going big in the Big Apple. Well, that works too. From Central Park to Coney Island, I'm putting the y'all in New York. You didn't even know it was there, but it is now.
In news, there are no second chances. You have one shot to get it right. You need to get all the facts, angles, and points of view. And you need it now. For us, being first is good, but being right is best. Live local CBS3.
President Biden's infrastructure agenda is on the line with uncertainty over whether it will move forward this week on Capitol Hill. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi had set a Thursday deadline for a vote on the bill passed last month by the Senate. But some progressive Democrats are insisting more headway must first be made on a larger social spending bill. Natalie Brandt has the latest from Capitol Hill.
A $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure package remains in limbo as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi tries to rally the votes.
We're on a path to win the vote. I don't want to even consider any options other than that. That's just the way it is, and that's our culture.
Speaker Pelosi said a Thursday vote, but disagreement among Democrats could bring it to a halt.
She knows that our members and the majority of our members are going to vote no on the infrastructure bill without the reconciliation bill.
Before they pass the physical infrastructure bill, progressives are pushing for an agreement on a much larger social spending bill, with Senator Bernie Sanders urging House Democrats to dig in their heels.
I want the infrastructure bill to pass. I voted for it. I want it to pass in the form of mail. But we've got to pass both of them.
But key moderates, including Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, aren't yet on board, saying the current price tag of $3.5 trillion is too large.
And the things we can do, and I've always said this, put our children at the front end. Put our seniors at the back end. Basically, we have the start of life and the end, the dignity and respect, and basically give a good start on the front end. Those are priorities right now.
If there are things that they want to cut out, tell us what those things are, and let's come to the table as Democrats to pass the Democratic agenda, the president's agenda.
Senator Manchin confirmed Thursday that he's pushing for a bill significantly smaller than the president's vision, one with a price tag closer to $1.5 trillion. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The White House says the discussion and negotiations are ongoing and compromise is inevitable.
And here's what we're working on tonight. A top Facebook executive grilled on Capitol Hill by one senator compares Instagram to big tobacco, pushing a product they know is harmful for teens. What you need to know. The CBS Evening News is just minutes away.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. Need a flu shot? Schedule your flu shot online today at essentiahealth.org/flu.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. A tranquil lake, a serene sky, an emerald forest, a secret hideout. Thanks for being there just when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs.
Get $500 customer cash on a new Corolla, CHR, Sienna, RAV4, Venza, or Highlander. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Be a little bit brave. Don't ever be afraid to.
We got a couple questions.
it's time for schools to reopen.
There is some positive breaking news. We've got a lot of important new information for you and your family.
Hurricane Ida hit Louisiana hard. The people there, their families, and businesses have a long road to recovery. And now it's time for each of us to help lift up Louisiana. Text IDA to 51555 and donate to the Salvation Army relief efforts as they provide relief to those impacted by Hurricane Ida. Learn more at CBS3Duluth.com or the CBS3 News app. Live, local, CBS3, helping lift up Louisiana.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northlands still to this day. Join me, Kristen Bakke, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining.
Brought to you by Range Regional Airport. Watch Eye on Mining with Kristen Bakke every Tuesday at 10. Only on live, local CBS3.
We're kicking off a new season in NYC. I'm putting the y'all in New York. You didn't even know it was there, but it is now.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park on this Thursday evening. Let's take a look back at today's top story and see what's coming up at 6. Tonight at 5, we follow the final leg of the 160-mile walk to end Line 3. The protest group is urging President Biden to shut down the now complete pipeline and bridge will begin transporting oil through Line 3 starting tomorrow. And tonight at 6, the DEA issued its first public safety alert in 6 years on Monday due to dangerous amounts of fake prescription medication. We'll bring you all of those details tonight at 6. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you back here at 6.